Hi, this is Dave at Fine Decor Painting, and today we're gonna roll a wall. Here we go. So now we already have one coat on there. Obviously it's not covering very well. It's a little too bright. We're gonna do our best. It's surely gonna take 3 coats. We're working with Echo Spec from Benjamin Moore here. Now, I didn't roll the first coat, but I'm rolling the second. So what I'm going to try to do when I roll is, first of all, have something very parallel on top, my top line and my bottom line. I want them to be very parallel. It's going to help when I come and do my cutting later on. I don't want everything to be checkered like this. You see how this is checkered? This is not perfect. So if I would have rolled the first coat, I would have probably gone up a bit higher first of all and made everything relatively straight like here. Just going to do a better job when I come to cutting. Less misses, less need for touch-ups on the brush. Also, when I come to obstacles like this, I make sure I get to them when my roller is pretty much empty. Otherwise, around here I'm going to leave a line, a thickness line here too. And that's really not something I want, because then I have to come back around and erase my line. So, but now I don't have any because it's pretty empty. About dipping your roller in the pan, I see a lot of people coming about and going like this. Really, it's really not necessary to spend all day in the pan. You're not improving anything at all here. So let's imagine for a second that I'm empty and I'm coming to dip. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go like this, tick, pull the paint back in this V shape right here, and then 1, 2, 3, and I'm out of there. If I want, once in a while, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go get the paint that's sitting on the sides to the left and right inside the pan, just to make sure that once in a while I'm moving this paint so it doesn't dry here and eventually become clunky and full of gunk on my wall. And I come back to my surface. Now, in putting this paint on the surface, my objective is to have an evenly spread out film of paint. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to spread out in a V, W, M, A shape. It doesn't really matter. Let's go in a V, or rather an A. An inverse V if you want. So you see, I have some thickness of paint here, but that's okay because now I'm starting to be empty already, and this is going to be used to spread out on this side over here. I'm working back into the zone where I was before. So that way by the time I get here, I'm going to be able to fade it out and everything's going to be married together pretty well. And of course, I don't want to be pushing on my roller, just a minimum pressure to have full control. Now you see what I just did here? These plates are supposed to be off and I nicked the plate. So I'm not gonna leave it there. I'm gonna pick it up while it's wet. It's so much easier. And always have a rag on you or some cloth, right? Here we go. As simple as that. Now how about speeding it up a bit, just for the fun. Let's do this as fast as I can. The speed at which you actually roll doesn't change anything to the actual texture or stuff like that. All you want to make sure is to erase any lines of thickness it might have or whatever. Just doing this little back roll will help even everything out. Notice that I'm touching my right wall right over here. That's a way to save a bit on the cutting. Of course, if you just leave it like that and you're not careful, you're going to end up with a thickness over there that's going to dry on you and be messy, and then you have to come back and scrape it off, maybe even plaster after you're scraped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back. When I do this side here, I'm just going to do the same thing and then collect all the excess off. There we go. So So my corner is relatively cut. I might do it once with a paintbrush anyways. Well, my back is stuck against the wall, so I'm not a lefty, but I'm gonna go backwards. I'm gonna work like a lefty for a few seconds. And there you have it. If we come back to the pan here for a second. Okay, when I do dip, I go get it, and 1, 2, and 3. But if I come out too fast, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to make a demonstration here. Come out, and I make a mess. See that? Disgusting. So what I do is I dip, 1, 2, 3, and then before I come out, boom, all my drips that were going to fall get bent back onto the roller.